don't tell policy? And if not, how should the military deal with the issue of homosexuality?
I support the current policy and think that it's been working decently. I don't see any particular reason to change it. It is important to defer to the military leadership, and that's what the leadership so far has said to us. There is some talk about them changing their minds on that. But it's very important to defer to that leadership and to ask the question, if it looks like they're getting pressure from the president, then to make sure to ask additional questions about that pressure. I think that we should keep the current policy, and that there's no particular reason to change it. Of course, I was there when Bill Clinton instituted the policy, didn't really like the change of policy then, would have preferred the old policy. But the military leadership said they could cope with this one. It seems to me we should stick at this position and not have the president put pressure on the generals that may give other advice.
Christina Jeffrey.
Isn't this just a perfect example of the way conservatives lose? Bill Clinton made a promise that he would allow gays in the military. Sam Nunn came up with a compromise. Gays in the military, but don't ask, don't tell. Conservatives just accept that. The military didn't fight it, but what choice did the military have? Their choice was gays in the military or gays in the military. Because Bill Clinton was going to have it that way. And there was a Democrat Congress, remember? 92? So now we have don't ask, don't tell. Nobody likes it. Which way are we going to go, people? Are we going to go back to the way it was historically? Or are we going to go progressively forward into the brave new world? I don't think the military wants that. Thank you very much.
Well, this is an example of where the federal government wants to interfere in what ought to be a matter of the military making its own decision. And it's so frustrating when you get bureaucratic interference and you've got a military decision-making command. You've got them in place, let them make the decision and outline a plan on how they can operate. And I can tell you, knowing the military, they will do it right. They'll know how to take care of this issue.
Well, as the only veteran up here on the stage right now, I can tell you that the military has a distinct view of this, and they would prefer that the government keep the political correctness out of the military and let it do the job that it needs to do. That having been said, the genie's out of the bottle. The current policy is don't ask, don't tell. I do not support the repeal of that policy.
Good job.
I want to thank Jim Lee and every other person who has served our country for their service. I mean, part of leadership. Part of leadership is having the humility to know that you don't have all the answers. The policy right now, don't ask, don't tell, regardless of the history of it, if the military leaders are satisfied with it, then the elected officials need to stand down and let the military leaders decide what policies are best for our military. So, regardless of the history of it, it's where it is. The military leaders are okay with it. Have the humility to let people who know more than you do about a topic make the decision.
Our next question comes from the audience today.